Hello, Dragon Slayers, and today I'm going to go ahead and walk you through why I chose Zeovit for my new system, and we're going to go ahead and show you just how I tweaked and changed my Avast Marine DIY 4-liter Zeovit Vibe reactor. So I start off by just go ahead and making sure I have all the pieces, trying to figure out exactly where all the pieces are going. So after I get all the different pieces and I kind of start figuring out how they go together, I immediately start thinking about how I want to change it. So at this point, I was thinking of doing a lot of red and white for my whole build with my sump. I already had a Synergy Reef ATO container that was red and white. So that was kind of the idea and the direction I was heading. So these are what I'm going to try to replace with red. It's just 1-inch PVC. So testing out my theory, I went ahead and started cutting some red PVC pipes, roughly the same dimensions as the black one that came out of the box. I just wanted to see if it would look the way I wanted to look, and then from there I wanted to go ahead and maybe start assembling. So quickly just chopping a couple of different pieces, you'll notice that with the dull blade, they start kind of chipping out and popping off, not exactly the clean cuts that I want. So here just kind of showing you some of the chip out, some of the blowout that I had with the chop saw. Definitely recommend a new blade or a sharp blade. So as I was reviewing the different pieces that came in the kit, I noticed right away that all the edges of the different acrylic pieces were really rough. And so I really wanted a smooth look to my reactor to go along with the high quality components that I'm actually putting together. Here you can get a pretty good look of the kind of the ridges that I was referring to earlier. So this is what I wanted to sand off and give me a nicer, smoother look. So it took a very long time to sand all of these different pieces. I went through 3 different types of grit. I started off with 120, went up to 220, and then I finished at like 280 or 300 grit just to make sure that it was really smooth. I tried to get it as smooth as I can. Now, admittedly, this is the first time that I've ever worked with acrylic like this. As you can see, I have some good woodworking tools, but the acrylic is definitely new for me. All in all, I think it was worth it. I feel like I was able to get a nice kind of finished, polished edge. But either way, I decided to go ahead and do some flame polishing as well. So here you can start to see the final grit, I believe, being able to get that nice kind of smooth look that I was actually hoping for with this actual kind of reactor. With the sanding complete, I went ahead and decided to go ahead and try my hand at flame polishing. So in order to put fire to all these pieces of acrylic, I need to take the actual paper off. So I will leave you with some very sensual music with all this satisfactory B-roll. So now it's time to try my hand at flame polishing, and actually it wasn't too bad. It wasn't the museum quality that I was hoping for, but I was very happy with the actual result. So I have a map gas torch and just kind of briefly going over, or I should say kind of smoothly going over all the different edges. To the eye, you can definitely see the difference between the sanding and the actual flame polishing, making it a little bit more transparent. Either way, I'm happy with the results and how it turned out. Definitely worth all the effort, but I had to go piece by piece. I even went on the interior strainer of the Vibe as well, just to kind of look and kind of see and kind of practice a little bit more as I went to the other outer exterior pieces. So happy with the results. Definitely would recommend it if you're actually comfortable with acrylic. As I said, this was the first time I had worked with it, and definitely feel like it was not too intimidating. So I know at the beginning of the video I had mentioned I cut all those pieces in red. However, through the drama of COVID and trying to order a Royal exclusive sump, I actually ended up sticking to an American company with MRC. And with MRC, I really liked the kind of blue and actual white look that all of their sumps and all of their items have. So I went ahead and decided to make this a blue and white build. One of the main reasons that I really liked and went with MRC was the customer service that I had was absolutely amazing, but also because they were able to go ahead and put my logo in the actual sump. So my skimmer chamber is actually looking through my logo, and I'll show you that sump when it arrives. So I definitely don't recommend using a hacksaw like this with this little miter box. Definitely screw the miter box down. As you can tell, I'm in my kitchen. So I would definitely recommend actually having your workbench so you can screw this plastic little miter box down. However, the hacksaw cut very nice, very smooth. Definitely better than the actual chop saw. So here's just my final kind of brief setup with the different colors. I'm just making sure that the colors I decide to go with are going to be what I want to actually do. So blue, red, and black. Definitely glad that I went with the blue. I feel like it actually popped. So I'm not going to go on a step-by-step guide. Avast Marine has a really good video on how to build this. However, here I'm putting the actual cylinder together with this, I believe it was like a silicone or like a weld type of glue. And I did have a leak, but I just put another round of this glue from the inside and again on the outside, and it contained the leak just fine on this one. I know there are a lot of mixed feelings on the forums anywhere you go when it comes to Zeovit. However, I found it to be a very easy system to be able to follow and understand. Now, I have had successful Zeovit tanks in the past, and I wanted to go ahead and try to do that again on a larger scale, as some of the success I had were on a smaller 90-gallon and even like a 20-gallon tank. So my motor came with a bent screw, but nothing a couple of pliers couldn't fix to be able to straighten out that screw, probably just something in shipping there. Now, when I refer to the actual Zeovit system, I'm actually referring to the main 4 components of the Zeovit system, and I'll probably make another video regarding Zeovit later. So I followed the actual Avast Marine video on YouTube that they have putting this together. I just really took my time. I'm not quite sure what that amber liquid is as I put the PVC little components into the acrylic, but it definitely bonded it well, and I was definitely happy with how it came up. So maybe I could find out what those liquids are. I'd love to be able to work with like PVC and acrylic later down the road. I found it to be very easy and nice to kind of actually work with. I really enjoy and like the Avast Marine products. I chose this reactor because I wanted to automate the actual shaking or the stirring of the Zeovit, the Zeorox, simply because I usually travel a lot. Once COVID is over, hopefully I'll be able to travel again. But I wanted to automate that. You can see from my upcoming videos and other videos, I'm a big control freak when it comes to the aquarium components. I like and trying out the GHL components and controller for this build, so we will see how that goes, but definitely liking everything that I have so far. So back to some customization for my Zeovit reactor is I reached out to a local print shop. I submitted my logo to them, and I wanted to go ahead and have this printed on a sticker so that I could go ahead and attach it to my actual reactor. So here I'm just trying to space it out. I was really concerned because the lettering is kind of small and maybe should have gotten it in 2 different stickers instead of just kind of one. So just making sure I have a nice straight line so that it doesn't look crooked. So I put some painter's tape there to be able to make sure that I can go ahead and secure that straight line. So what I decided to do is actually cut the sticker in two. I was really concerned that I might put a wrinkle in the dragon head as I was trying to straighten out the letters. So I just felt like putting two different pieces down would give me the best kind of end result. And I had laid the dragon head there to kind of center the lettering on how I wanted, so that way it still looked like it was one piece. Overall, I'm very happy with the actual result and how it came. It almost looks like that I had asked for Avast Marine to custom make this for the Dragon Slayer Reef. So all in all, very happy with the result. Again, you see the nice logo there. Even looks distressed like the way I like. Again, very happy with my actual design. The way that this component actually went together, very easy to follow along with the video and very easy to put together. I definitely highly recommend it to any of those who are maybe a little eccentric like me and like to focus on a little bit of the details that is important for them. So been planning this build for a very long time. So I am grateful to kind of start putting things in motion, start putting this together, and I am grateful. So I'm very happy at how this Avast Marine Vibe actually came out. Definitely will be buying from Avast again. I really liked how my vision was able to kind of come together, how the colors were able to come together, and how I was able to change a lot of the different details to suit my needs and to be able to make sure that it fits well within my system. Here's to all my Zeo lovers out there. Here's some B-roll.